Yeah.
Hello, this is Nikki Kane, and welcome to the Cold Call. Hello, home lovers. I miss you. I love you so much. Today, I'm super excited because today is my first episode of my new podcast, The Cold Call. This should be fun. Every Monday, starting today, I am going to bring you episodes of all things relevant to real estate, whether it's local or bigger than local. We're going to be talking about things that really make a difference. Colombia is growing. Oh my God, there's so many things like Volkswagen that has come to Colombia. You're going to want to know the skinny on that. What about the rates? What's going to happen to real estate on the 18th? We're going to talk about that today. And every Monday, we are going to cover relevance regarding Colombia real estate and further. We are going to have exciting interviews with people. One of them will be my friend, the lovely Jordan March from Sirhan. And if you have not seen Owning Manhattan, you're crazy. You need to see that show. I think I'm on my, I swear to God, 7th one. And season 2 is coming. So we want to have a chat with Jordan before season 2. Not because he's an actor, although he acts great. It's because he is a top selling real estate agent in New York City. So to be able to pick his mind is to be able to pick the best of the best. Also, today's episode is super exciting to me. Now, just starting, first time doing a podcast, things will get better. Right now, I'm using my phone. I hope you can hear me good. As a matter of fact, the fan is on. Can you hear me? I'm gonna take the fan off and bake for you guys for a little while because my AC is out. Why, AC? Why? It's like 180 degrees in Colombia right now, or at least inside my house. Anyway, I'm super excited. Today, we're going to cover one of the most important things you can imagine. It's coming up right now. It's going to make a whirlwind of difference. I want you to hear me on this. On September 18th, the Fed is going to make a decision to maybe drop the rates, maybe not, but I think they will. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen when they do. Before we get into that, this is the time. It's a new, exciting podcast. It's called The Cold Call for a reason. You're going to see why it's called The Cold Call right now. Subscribe. This is not something you want to miss. I promise you, it's not something you want to miss. As a thank you for even tuning in, I want to offer you these. My mug that says, but first, home ownership. We have a strong arm for the guys and lips for the ladies. Mwah. These are yours for free until supplies run out. They're yours for free. If you are local, if you are in Colombia, and you don't mind picking them up from my office downtown, let me know. I'll arrange it for you. If you are not local, let me know and I will ask you to pay the shipping, but it's yours for free. Beautiful coffee cups. If you go a day without coffee, I don't understand your brain, but whether it's coffee or tea, remind yourself that the first important thing, just, not family, not people, the first important thing that is not people is home ownership. Okay, let's get this first episode started. Super important. What the Fed? What is going to happen on September 18, 2024? The Fed is going to make a decision. Everyone thinks it's going to be to drop the rate. And I'm going to tell you why now's the time to understand what to expect when that happens and if they will drop the rate. First question is, will the Fed drop the rate? But before we answer that question, if you can find, I'm going to try to find it and pin it. I did a couple of videos. The first one was, the rates are going to go up, and this is not what you think it is. The real estate is in a frenzy. The rates are going to go up. The homes will not come down that much. There is not going to be this crash everybody's waiting for. And then the rates are going to drop, and the home prices are going to go up again. And I think we're in that time right now. Now, the question being, will they drop the rate? I believe they will. The reason I believe they will, it is an election year, as of course you know. It's the weirdest election anybody has ever seen. So we now have somebody running for president that was not nominated by the people to run for president. So it's kind of in the air on who actually wants her in the White House or not. We don't know that because she didn't go through the regular system of polls and votes, and here I am running because you picked me. She's running because Joe, I don't know, got pushed out or dropped out or whatever have you, and now she's in position. But the polls aren't that great right now. Not looking good in her favor. And the reality is that party needs to do something to look like they have things in control. They made the decision to cause the inflation, and they blamed it on everything that was happening from 2020 to now. Now it's an election year, and not a lot of people are verbalizing that they're happy. They want to see a change. What did you do while you were here? So what makes more sense than to drop the rates? So home buyers, and I'm going to have a very important seminar. I'm going to try my best to do that for you tomorrow, but before the week is out and way before those daggone rates drop, because I think they will, you need to get in on the seminar because buying is no longer the same, is it? Have you heard what NAR's done? You have to have a contract before buying a home. Like, that's a big one. Quick correction, I was speaking way too fast and being way too excited. For clarity, you have to have a buyer's agency agreement signed before any realtor can let you in to see a home that is listed. That's a big one, and you have to understand what you're doing. You have to understand what you're doing. No longer even think about buying a home without a representation. Okay, anyway, let's talk about the Fed. What is going to happen when the Fed decides to drop the rates on the 18th? Everybody's going to start buying again. They were waiting for this. I have 2 homes that are waiting on offers because they want to see what's going to happen on the 18th. But guess what? I and my homeowner are waiting to see what happens. If the frenzy begins again, buyers, this is for buyers. I am dropping you tea you don't want to miss. This is important. If those rates drop again, we will have another real estate frenzy, and guess what's going to happen? The prices are going to go again. We might be in line for another 2020 boom. Oh my God, if that happens, now if you remember, and I don't want to be Mrs. Debbie weirdo causing fear, but I did say what's going to happen is it's going to be to a point where you're not going to easily be able to afford a home. And it happened the first time I said it, and the rates went up like I said, and the homes did not really come down like I said. And we're actually still in a seller's market. And if those prices come down, if those rates come down and they start to bring the mortgage rate down, home prices are going to start to go up again. This is unprecedented. It's crazy. I mean, I'm excited about it. This is my first podcast. It's a drop. We're not going to make it that long this time. Like I said, there's a whole lot in store for the podcast. It's called The Cold Call. We will be cold calling people. I'm telling you, like, subscribe, bell now. This is so relevant, especially for the 18th. This is so relevant that you don't want to miss it. And I am going to make some very important videos between now and the 18th. 2 of them are to understand how NAR has affected the buyer. The NAR decision has not really relevantly affected a seller. The days of buyer beware are back so hard that it's almost unfathomable. And I can't wait to have that discussion. But today we covered what's going to happen with the home boost. So what does that mean for you? Well, I'm going to tell you now. In my opinion, if you were going to buy a house anyway, and I was telling people this, listen, while the homes have dribbled down just a little bit, buy the home. You can always refinance when the rates come down. It's the smarter thing to do. You always want to secure the home. The rates can be manipulated. The price of the home is going to be manipulated, maybe for the worst, not for the best necessarily. So now people are scrambling. I already got a few calls. My weekend has been insane because people are like, oh my goodness, should I buy now? I told you that. Yeah, you should buy now because we really don't want those prices to keep creeping up. Affordability factor is the point. Now there are a lot of people that, they're not going to care about a 2 or 10. When we go into multiple bidding, again, on homes, you're going to care. We never even exited. In my market particularly, which is not like the hottest market on the planet, it's Columbia, South Carolina. It's nice and it's growing. And there's some news coming. Like I said, Volkswagen's coming. A lot of people are starting to invest. We're going to cover that too. And the town is becoming really vibrant. That's going to affect the home prices. That Volkswagen factory bringing people and their jobs and their money here, that's going to affect the home prices. People staying stuck on the smaller value of Columbia real estate, and that's no longer really the case like that. That's going to affect the buyers. Not so much the prices, the buyers. Buyers are going to come in still expecting this. I want a whole big mansion for $150K, and it's not going to happen. I have a listing. The best price home we have right now is a 3-bedroom super cutie, 1,400 square feet, $234, and it's a steal. It's a steal. $234 is a steal. If those rates go down, like I think they will, they might be in a multiple offer situation, and here we go again, just like in 2020. Will it be as bad? I don't know. Will it happen the way I'm describing it? I certainly think so. We have to wait and see. I'm telling you, buyers, don't take the chance, because that's a biggie. That's a biggie. Right now, what I have predicted from before 2020 has already come to pass. And it's not a prediction. It's not magic. It makes sense. If the rates rise and there's still a seller's market, the homes are not going to go down. And when the rates come down, everybody is going to say, oh, shoot, get on that small rate. And they're going to drive up the market again. And they're going to go into multiple bids again, and we're going to go further into a seller's market again. Now your home becomes more valuable, but more expensive. And there is going to be a time, if you're not careful, where you're not able to afford a home. So there's a couple of things I want you to do here. Number one, press subscribe and tune into that buyer seminar. Now is not the time you want to just run around thinking you know what you're doing with real estate. Now that we can no longer easily represent you, and the seller or the broker's portion of it is compensating us as agents. And I want you to remember something. This is so important that people don't seem to remember. Agents love what they do a lot of the times. I know I love what I do. I wouldn't give it up for the world. But we also feed our children and pay our bills with this. So for anyone to say, well, do it for free, it's simply unreasonable. A lot of people would want to, I'm sure. They cannot. It's an actual job. So now that NAR has said, pay your own broker, and most of my clients, they'll do it in a heartbeat. They don't care. They have so much money. It doesn't matter to them. What I'm concerned about is the smaller guy, the middle class that keeps getting attacked. And I don't mean to say it like that, but it feels like an attack. When the middleman is getting a disbenefit of something like that, he's the one that says, oh, I can't afford another $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So, or $9,000, or $10,000, whatever have you. Now, my buyer pool, I have 2 buyers right now, and they are my clients, and both of them, they're in the slightly under $1 million to slightly under $2 million range, and they don't blink at paying for my services. Of course, Nikki, you're helping me find a home. Of course I'll pay. But I also had someone come in, and she didn't know I don't do apartments. She didn't even know she had to pay an apartment fee. Like her pockets, I don't think it was really a mindset. It could be. But her sense was like, well, where are my free products? Like, what am I getting for free here? Oh, I can't afford to pay $200 to get an apartment. And that's just such a little bit of money. It's really unfortunate. And I love the line in the Bible that says, my people should perish for lack of knowledge. And of course, that's all of my people. That's not the chosen people or, whatever. It is all of his people. It's that lack of knowledge that has you not understanding the value of having a pro on your side, because you are going against someone that has the value of a pro on their side. It's kind of like the fool represents himself as an attorney in court. You ever heard that saying? A fool represents himself in court. And, this is not to disparage anyone, this, that, and the other. I think I might kind of have a do-it-yourself buyer kit put together later, because I do feel for the ones that, this is going to affect. But if you don't know what's going on with NAR, subscribe now. You don't want to miss it. So my first podcast, I think I just babbled on because I'm excited. This is my first podcast is going to be every Monday. It's called The Cold Call. Subscribe, don't miss them. And of course, the importance of this particular podcast was to discuss what to expect on the 18th when the Fed does with the rates. Guys, listen, get your pre-qual ready. Like tomorrow, get your pre-qual. If you're in the market for a home and you're looking around and you're trying to get something and you're waiting for the rate to drop, everybody's waiting for the rate to drop. Everybody's waiting for the rate to drop. And the homes are going to end up being in a frenzied seller's market again. If you're in my particular market, Columbia has already been seeing growth. There's a lot of things going on. And yeah, get them while they're not Charlotte prices. That would be my advice to you. You go to Charlotte, you're hard pressed to find a home that's under $500,000, and that's what everybody's growing to. So get your pre-qual ready. Hit the bell. It's super important that you hear from me or get this information in regards to the buyer agency NAR thing, where you stand, what you should do about it, why it's so important to be represented is the most important part. There are certain things you can't afford to look for a bargain on. Certain things. So, like some of my, and I've said that all my life because it's true. Like if you are looking for a bargain on food, okay, you're not going to get the best quality food, but you might survive. If you're looking for a bargain on a plastic surgeon, a doctor, a heart surgeon, don't be crazy. It's too important and it's too big. That's where you need the best of the best. That's where you need to understand value versus money. If you don't have the value of good representation, you're going to wind up feeling the harm and hurt and much bigger loss of buying a mistake because one person had pro representation and you're just standing there like your own lawyer in a courthouse. Okay, so excited, like I said. As you see, it's late. I cannot wait to get this started. It's really an announcement, but then I'm excited anyway because the Fed thing is coming and Volkswagen has come to Columbia and there's growth everywhere and there are things happening and I cannot wait to talk about them. And again, I also wanted to say, subscribe. You're going to want to know when these seminars come up, especially this buyer seminar and the new construction seminar. Super important this time. Super important before the Fed makes their announcement on the 18th. And the other, of course, is the first home ownership. Please get yourself a free mug. Again, if you're local, let me know. I will set them up. I will place them in my office in Columbia on Gervais Street and organize you to pick it up. And if you are further away and you want one, you can still have one, of course. You just have to be responsible for the shipping. So you can just give me that info or we will, figure it out there. And of course, if you are looking for a home in Columbia, call Nikki, the second part of the What's Luxury team at Coldwell Banker. And if you're looking anywhere else, still ask me. I have the absolute best references anywhere. And that includes all of the team members from Sirhan. So I can call maybe Jordan and say, hey, I have somebody that I love you to take care of it, So anyway, I love you. I love real estate. I love the fact that I'm doing this podcast because I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've been pushed. I feel like I was too busy. So I'm glad I just finally said, yeah, let's do it. And it's time to do it because there are some big things coming and you don't want to miss out. Okay, that's it. Love you. Mwah. Thanks for tuning in and I will talk to you soon.